Welcome everyone to our first official episode to the Spit It Out podcast. We're three friends who love games, tech, and everything in between. I'm the host. Today we discuss Valve's Steam machine, pricing, and our reaction to our recent tech live stream. So, Valve confirmed Steam machine won't have a console level price, more like a PC, possibly between $700 to $800. So my first question to both of you is, would you buy a living room friendly PC instead of over a normal PC?
I would say not really, since I'm into building PCs. I can see the massive appeal, but honestly, not for me. I do like it since it's gonna bring competition, since Xbox was also heading towards this platform, making it a hybrid console slash PC like with their Windows. And seeing as Valve has now stepped up, giving us like a SteamOS version, pricing really matters. Especially since the Xbox, because if you look at the ROG Ally, the Xbox version, that's already like 1,000. So if the Steam machine is like 700, 800, since it won't be subsidized, I would believe it will at least make sure that the Xbox counterpart, like Xbox version of how they're gonna do like a PC console hybrid, will also be like maybe a bit more fairly priced, but not for me.
I kind of agree. It seems to be like a casual solution for migrating console players towards a more PC kind of era. But I think the other way around, it doesn't really work. Like as a PC player, I'm not really looking to migrate towards a more console side. I feel like it's more leaning towards getting console players more towards PC.
Yeah, that's a huge appeal. Also for the people that also don't like to build PCs, slash are like stuck with pre-builds, they at least have like a plug and play system if they didn't want anything of the extra that normal PCs would give. But even then, from what we saw with the reveal of the Steam machine, they kind of showed like, oh, you can still browse and do features, but like mostly gaming oriented, like Aman said, really to get like console players on PC.
Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of it depends on the pricing.
Yeah.
Like, is it going to cost as much as a high-end PC, or is it going to cost as much as like a typical console, somewhere in between there?
Well, if we look at the pricing, let's say between the $700 and $800, we could say maybe an entry-level PC is around $1,000, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
So, but would you see the new Steam machine as a entry-level PC or the next-gen consoles?
More so an entry-level PC, since the specs for this Steam machine isn't that great. It's mostly meant for affordable kinda, but still like they can't subsidize it, so it will be still expensive. But if you compare it to like a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, it's already lacking behind in some departments. Instead, like it doesn't support 120 FPS, for example, like it's 60 FPS locked for most games, even on 4K. I would say it's more like an entry point PC and more to make PC more accessible to console players.
I agree with that.
From the sounds of it, you guys aren't very fond of the new Steam console then, I assume, or?
I am fond of it. I like the idea of it, especially Steam capitalizing on it, because it will at least, if the Steam machine isn't that cheap or the Steam machine isn't that great, at least it opens the door to like third-party PC makers to like just also do the same thing, since SteamOS is public. So it just brings in like, instead of just Xbox trying to do this with Windows, you also have now manufacturers that can do it with SteamOS, which has already like more benefits for gaming over Windows, since it doesn't have that much of bloat. But from what Steam has showed, I am not interested in the Steam machine, since I already have a PC and I still prefer making PCs. But I am very interested in their VR glasses that they have shown. Not so much the controller, since the controller doesn't look that comfortable for me with the touchpads. I think like it will, to some degree, like have its benefits, especially since it's also marketed together with the Steam machine, so they're already going for like a console-like approach. But like, as you know, most PC games don't have like controller-specific games, so like I think they call it touchpads are a great addition, but I don't feel anything for it, since I will not use them. Like I would at that point just switch to mouse and keyboard. And also probably the pricing is also going to be more expensive than a normal controller. But the VR glasses, I am very interested about it, since I still don't have my own VR glasses. So I guess you could say, just like the others, I'm always excited for new VR glasses. But for this one, I was really interested since how they have shown it, and also like the cameras, like on the inside, like tracking your eyes. That was like a neat feature that I haven't seen that much of in other VR glasses. But like out of the lineup, very interested in the VR glasses, not so much into the Steam machine, other than what it can do for the PC market / console market, making sure it stays competitive. Controller, not really for me. Doesn't like, even watching someone play with the controller, it doesn't look that comfortable for me. And I'm really interested in knowing when we get a Steam Deck 2 and how much of an improvement that will be compared to whatever we have in the market at that point.
So you'll be more open for a Steam Deck instead of like a whole console?
Because I already have a PC, and I also have a PlayStation for the console experience. So like, I just don't have anything for the handheld. Even if I were to have a Switch 2, I would still have a purpose for like a Steam Deck 2, since I also like to just play in handheld mode. How about you, Aman? Were you interested in the Steam glasses, the VR glasses, or the controller?
I've been interested in VR. It's the biggest issue with VR is just the hefty pricing of it all. But I do think it's a good thing that Steam is doing more with VR, considering right now the market really pretty much is just meta. It's good to have like a competitor to it. It looks like it's going to be like a high-end VR headset, so that's a good thing. For the gamepad, I think it's interesting to have like a general purpose gamepad opposed to like a focused gamepad for a specific type of console. But I'd have to first see, because obviously it's a weird shape and you'd have to like see how it feels and everything before I can make any judgment on that. But I'm carefully optimistic about it.
So would you say you will buy one, or
if the pricing allows it, then I would definitely be interested in the VR headset. The gamepad, I'd first have to like get an idea of like how it feels before I can actually make a judgment on whether or not I would get one. Until then, I'm still fine with just using Xbox controllers.
I agree.
So who would you say the target is really? Like, what would be the target audience for this? Because it is like the first time I really see it. Such things. Of course, we have the VR headsets now for a long time, but this is the first time I hear about Steam really making its own consoles, etc. So
they've had the Steam Deck for a while, and it seems to be that they're just mostly focusing on, or their target audience is mostly like casual audiences. People are like getting into gaming, or people who have like maybe used a PlayStation 4 but like are looking into getting an upgrade from that. I think it's just like a very, I guess you could say it's a small niche market of untapped potential that they're going in for.
Yeah, would concur.
Okay. So your final thoughts about it, like to put it in one sentence, it's, from what I get it, is you guys both really like it, but the chances you'll get it are very slim.
Yeah. They are good options for the general population and gamers out there, but for us, it's just a PC is fine.
Yeah, I would say like competition is great, but I'm not the target audience.
Okay. Who would you say the target audience is really like? I already asked Aman about it, so he says the new people that are looking for upgrade, etc. But would it also be great for people that are looking to switch from a console to a PC?
Yeah, I would say anyone that has been trying to get into PC gaming but got scared off by setting up all the parts, setting up all the settings in games. Like, this is really like, hey, how can we bring like a console-like build towards PC? And Valve pretty much showed it with SteamOS. It will run in big picture mode. You can exit it if you still want like the extra PC capabilities, but like honestly, from the get-go, how they marketed it, it's like for console players that want to finally make the jump to PC by making it plug and play, by making it wake up with the controller that the consoles do. So it's definitely like anyone that's trying to get into PC but don't want the hassle of like building one, finding out which pre-build is good, and then also also having to like deal with all the settings and finding the right platform to play on.
Okay, but wouldn't you then say, like, for instance, that the PlayStation 5 is a better option for those people, or like what would make the Steam console then different from a PlayStation?
The PC library mostly, and all the accessibility that PC can give you. Like that means even if they access big Steam picture mode, they can access mods, which consoles can't really give. And also, like I said before, you have a lot of PC games that aren't on consoles. And the Steam machine is basically giving you the opportunity to play those games. That's why they also made the controller like that, since a lot of the PC games don't have controller support or literally requires mouse and keyboard support. And that's why they did the touchpad things. So that's like the big difference between the two.
And I heard you already talking a bit about the specs of it. Would you mind telling us again what those specs are?
Kind of forgot it. Kind of forgot all the specs. I just know like it's not that far away from the current PS5 and Xbox Series X specs, but I believed it was a bit lower on that, and that they had to also tweak some things. But I don't recall the exact specs that they have.
Okay.
It does appear to be like similar to a entry-level PC for someone who's just getting into gaming.
Yeah.
Or I guess it would also be very comparable to like a gaming laptop.
Okay.
If it works, it works. The main setting is like, because I've seen also people talk about it. If you have a gaming laptop and you just don't want to be like behind that screen, most people, or not maybe not most people, but some people hook it up to their TV in the living room and just play via a controller via Bluetooth. So if they don't have to do that with a laptop that is also like constrained by how it's built and just have like a proper Steam machine to set next to your TV, I see the purpose of that.
Which games will be available then on the Steam console? Like, of course, the Steam library, but will that also include like Xbox exclusives and PlayStation exclusives? Like, how is that?
Basically everything that's on Steam is available. There are ways to tweak and have Game Pass on it. I already saw people like experimenting with the Steam Deck with it, so like it's basically just like a PC. Almost anything is available on it. It just depends how further away you want to get from just having it just be the Steam library. And the Steam library is big. It has PlayStation games and Xbox games. So if you just open it up and you see everything that you can do now on your own PC, like the Steam machine will also have it.
True. One thing is though that it runs on SteamOS, which is basically Arch-based Linux. So not all games that run on PC would run on the Steam machine.
Okay, like which games would you say would have a very hard time running?
I would say, I mean, most games right now are already like taken into account like Arch, because obviously people want to run on Steam Deck. But there are mostly indie games that like focus mostly on just Windows releases. For those games, you just would not be able to run them. Maybe through like something like Wine or something, but then you'd have to like get into the nitty gritty. And I feel like this is mostly focused for like casual gamers, so they probably would not want to go outside of big picture mode and install Wine and all that.
I could also see because if it picks up a very big popularity, because Steam has already like 120 million users monthly or daily. I forgot which one it was. So they already have like a huge base, a fan base, and if the Steam machine also picks up like sells a lot of units, I can still see like a lot of devs just also think about at least the SteamOS version of Linux to like support that more.
And since we're talking about games, have you guys seen the latest live stream of Xbox?
I did.
Okay, what are your opinions about that?
I found it a nice showcase. It was a third partner showcase showing us what games are coming. I did like how it was an Xbox Play Anywhere showcase primarily. So what does that mean? That means that no matter where you buy the game, whether it's on your Xbox, xCloud, or the Rock Ally, you can just play it anywhere, as long as you do it via one of Xbox's applications. So that doesn't mean if you buy it on Steam that it's available on your Xbox, at least so far I have seen. But that was neat, since it is a great selling point, since people want a unified library, a library where they can just, like, if they are hopping on the Xbox, that they can play it there. If they're hopping on the ROG Ally, they're playing it there, or the xCloud on their TV. But the games shown there, I have a few favorites. I was really happy with Tides of Annihilation.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which is like a very hack and slash action game. I've been looking forward to it, especially with its Arthurian Legends mythos going on. The boss fight that they have shown, I hope it's not the best boss fight, because it was very stellar. Even though you could tell that it still needs like a lot of time in the oven with all of the frame drops that I have witnessed and a little bit here and there stuttering. But that boss fight alone, even if I didn't have seen any of the previous trailers and sneak peek of gameplays, I was like, that boss fight instantly got me hyped to play day one.
I mean, obviously, I gotta say, Jennifer English, perfect cast. I mean, a big one is that there's a lot of indie games in here. I'm glad to see. One big one is Clover Pit, in my opinion. It's like a highlight. It's currently, I think, only on PC. So I'm glad to see that Xbox or just console players in general are going to be able to enjoy that one. Also highlighting the upcoming DLC, which is interesting. I will have to say one of them that I found odd to see was Zoopunk. I was kind of like into it for like a few seconds, but then I don't know, it just did not hit right.
With the way they presented it.
I mean, it might be because of the way they presented it, but like I was expecting like one thing and then diverted my whole expectation of the game. I don't really know how to bring it to words.
No, I get what you mean. For me, I was interested in a couple of games that they have shown right off the get-go. Armatus, like at the beginning of the preview showcase, it's like looks like a Doom-like shooter. I would say, I don't know if it's gonna be a looter shooter necessarily, but it already piqued my interest. I like the design of the main character, kind of like the premise that they're setting up. The combat looked fun. I believe this is also next year coming out. So then I have like Sorrows and Armatus coming out in the same year, which seems fun. We also got a Dave the Diver expansion coming out, or at least they shown. That seemed fun, since I still have to get into Dave the Diver. Didn't you play it, Aman?
I played it around release like 2 years ago. They've done a lot of updates since then, so I might have to pick it back up again. But yeah, it's a fun game.
Yeah,
What's the game about?
It's you're basically a diver, Dave the Diver, and you go around hunting for fish, spearfishing, and then a second part of the game is by making sushi out of those fish. Slowly, as you expand more into your sushi restaurant, you also expand into new like types of dishes. So you explore more underwater. You find these crazy new places, and a definite recommendation for me, especially because I think it's now AA, but it started out as indie at least.
Well, for me personally, the one I can't wait to see is Tides of Annihilation, just because of some of the previews and gameplays. I really like what they did.
Yeah, even then, further on, right after they shown Dave the Diver DLC, Crown Sworn, a game that I've been following since, I believe, the beginning. Might be a bit later, but I really like it. It's basically, if you like Hollow Knight, it's basically kind of like that, but like I've seen people comment like, oh, it has like kind of Devil May Cry action going for itself, and other tags that I don't know at the top of my head anymore, but this game really has me looking forward to it. Can't wait for that to come out, but alas, no release date for that one. Then also they showed what did they call it, like the new game from the Vampire Survivors studio.
Oh, Vampire Crawlers.
Yeah, I like at the beginning they kind of pump fake you with, oh, they're now making like an open world game, and then them just comically saying, nope, we're just doing it. We're doing like Vampire Crawlers now. Was like a fun tease. I'm not really interested in it, since I was also not interested in Vampire Survivors, but I can still see people liking it. Which then we get like the 007 R reveal. Probably has Ramazan really excited, since it's an Aston Martin. But that, like, if you know 007, it's like a nice reveal, but kind of wished they showed a bit more than just, oh yeah, this is the car coming out, especially since it's coming out March 27th next year. But we got to see that. Then in the spirit of indie games that you think like, oh, it's not gonna be big, but it seems like you're gonna have fun with friends, for a couple of sessions. They showed this game where you play as an alien trying to stealthily or get into the human population. What is it? You're at a gas station as an alien. Like, the only thing that is making sure that you don't look like an alien is just this paper with a 2D face on it. I did like what I saw from that. Yeah, you're just basically a gas tank employee, selling stuff to humans and just trying to get your alien species on Earth. Roadside research, it's what it's called.
Yes.
That one seemed like it's going to be fun for a couple of sessions.
I can add a bit more to roadside research. So the fun part about roadside research is that you're not just trying to get by as humans. You're also trying to figure out stuff about humans while preparing for the invasion. So you got to scan people, make sure they don't notice. And I'm pretty sure there's also parts where you even kidnap people, and you got to obviously hide from the Secret Service, make sure they don't find out that you are aliens. And one thing that I did find interesting is that you can actually, this is a small thing, but I think that could really add to the comedy factor of the game, is that you can paint your own paper on your face.
Yeah.
So you can actually personalize yourself, and I can see a lot of potential for funny clips and stuff for this game.
I think this will be a very nice game to play with, especially to play with a couple of friends.
Yeah. One side note though is that it's only 4 players co-op, which is interesting. I'm seeing a recent shift to more 6-player or even 8-player co-op games, but 4 players is an interesting choice.
Yeah, but probably they decided on it that it may be the more balanced version for it.
Do you think there will be updates for it to eventually get it to 6 players? Or
I mean, if they don't, even then people will definitely mod it to allow for multiple players.
Yeah. Okay. Even up to 16, I won't be shocked.
I remember Lethal Company with 100-player lobbies. That was crazy.
And that was not made for 100 players.
Definitely not.
Also, right after that, we get a new horror game shown. That was, I believe, also a shadow drop. Yeah, Total Chaos, which I was shocked by it dropping literally on the same day that the showcase was live streaming. That one looked also interesting to me, since it's basically a survival horror game, and even watching it, the atmosphere and the way they set things up already got me into it. Don't know if I'm gonna play it anytime soon, but it definitely piqued my interest. Right after that, you had from the creators of Little Nightmares, I think it was called Reanimal, appeared. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Little Nightmare games, or if this game is on your radar, but it's coming out next year, February 13th.
I am cautiously optimistic about this. It looks great. The only thing is they are only mentioning Little Nightmares 1 and not Little Nightmares 2. But recently, half a year ago, I think, Little Nightmares 3 came out, which was not received well. So,
yeah, but I believe that was from a different studio that made that game.
Is it?
Yeah, I believe a different studio, so that they could focus on Reanimal. I could be wrong, but I thought that was right. The whole thing.
Yeah. Okay. Then that clears things up at least.
Did that raise?
It's the same people who made The Quarry, actually.
Who did Little Nightmares 3?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. It's 2 very different types of horror games. After that, a game appeared that blew me by surprise. Erosion, which is a roguelite, I think, open world game where the roguelite element is if you die, I think 10 years go by before you are reborn. And the whole premise is basically you trying to get your daughter back, and it has a lot of side of activities you can do. The story is about getting your daughter back, so you're probably on the hunt for thrills, and that's why you're going to different locations. It's really new, since I didn't see this for the roguelite genre. Any a game that was talking about doing the same things that it was doing. But also near the end, they basically showed off if you died a couple of times, that you will actually, once you finally find her, she might even be dead already if you died too many times, or she might be old, or she might be young if you're really great. So this one really caught me by surprise, and I'm actually really looking forward to playing it.
I think it's interesting. It really reminded me of what's it called? Return to the Oberdin. Also, like a very narrative, and you got to figure out things based on time type game.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's like a basically just definite recommendation. So I am very optimistic about Erosion. I think it's definitely a contender to also just be one of those top tier games.
Nice. Are you interested into it, Ramazan, Erosion?
I am looking forward to it, especially how, like, what the consequences will be. I think this will really show the difference in skill. But I think that there will also be a lot of different endings, so I'm looking forward to that.
After that, we have a game that is a prequel to Zoopunk, which you were already talking about, Aman.
Yes.
I am excited for it since the combat of the game, at least, really piqued my interest. But I need to see more, and I am kind of curious. Did you play the game before, like where this prequel was based on?
Remind me of what that is.
Ooh, I forgot its name.
Fist, Fortune, Shadow.
Yeah.
No, that's the first time I'm hearing of this, actually.
I am, but like I said, I'm pretty much interested in it. Do want to see more of it, but like for first impressions, I know it didn't grab your trust / hype for it, but it got me interested in it, which I hope that if they show more of it, since I believe they did announce a release year. Did they not? No, they didn't. Well, whenever it shows up again, it did grab my attention. So I really hope the next trailer really sells it onto me, because I like the premise and I like the way the characters act, and I like what I've seen from the combat, but just need to see a bit more of it.
It is interesting to see how it shifted. I'm looking at Fist right now. How it shifted from a Metroidvania into what appears to be a action RPG game.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna give. If I'm impressed by Zoopunk, if I'm gonna give Fist a try, since Fist didn't really grab my attention, but like, who knows, maybe if I played Zoopunk, I might give it a try, if Zoopunk also impresses me.
Is there already a release date for it, or?
I've not seen it in the showcase, and I don't know if they have mentioned it anywhere else.
Okay.
All that's mentioned is sometime in 2027, but take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, like after that, you had Clover Pit showing up. I will just straight up say it's not my type of game, so I'm not interested in it. I don't know about you, Aman. Are you interested in it, like the roguelite slot machines from hell?
The thing with Clover Pit is it's like a game you play for like 3 or 4 hours, and then you basically get the premise, but it's still very enjoyable for 3 to 4 hours. But it also has to be like the thing that you're interested in. One thing that this game does really well is like the roguelike part of it, where you're consistently like getting new high scores and then getting more new upgrades that let you do higher runs. And obviously there's a lot of great bells and whistles that make something as simplistic as just a slot machine seem very enjoyable.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to what the DLC might have.
Okay. How about you, Ramazan?
I'm not that interested in this one.
You're not the target audience?
No, I'm not the target audience for this. But I'm looking forward to it, in the sense like if it will be something. But for myself, I really don't see. You won't see me playing this.
But would we see you playing the new Hitman mission featuring Eminem versus Slim Shady?
Oh yeah. Like everything regarding to that, I'm always in. So yeah, of course.
Okay. How about you, Aman? When you saw this, were you also was your brain also trying to reset and ponder like how, in what timeline did we end up that Eminem is fighting again next to Agent 47 against Slim Shady?
I was definitely thinking like, are we back in like 2010? Like just hearing Slim Shady again, you know? But like Hitman is not really my type of game. Glad to see that for the Hitman fans out there, that they get to experience Eminem versus Slim Shady.
Yeah, I would say I like the idea. I liked what I saw, even though I was trying to figure out if it was real or not. But for me personally, I'm not really that much of a Hitman gamer, other than like the 360 games, where it was like more linear based with missions. This is more like I would say like a stealth sandbox game, rather than what the previous Hitman games were. So that's why I'm like more excited for 007 made by the Hitman team, just like having like a proper story, linear style, big set pieces. But like it looked fun. Like if I had the game, I would have probably booted it up just to do this mission and face off against Slim Shady. But as an outsider, it was just fun seeing it. But I will probably forget about it. And then after that, we had Tides of Annihilation, but we already talked about it. I will just again say, like, I really hope there are even more, like, crazier boss fights awaiting us, and that this is like pure like, oh yeah, we can show off this boss fight without worrying of people thinking like, oh, this is gonna be already the best one, you know, where they just kind of.
Okay, so you really hope that this isn't the final boss.
Well, I do believe they won't show off a final boss in any trailer, other than like if they feel like you don't know it. Like Elden Ring is famous for like showing off the final boss character, but not like the final boss fight itself. But I believe this is probably somewhere like in the middle of the game, like maybe at best like maybe later in the game, but I truly believe it's probably somewhere in the middle, seeing as how crazy the boss fight is. But I do hope that there are still like more crazy boss fights that are better off not being shown instead of this one. That's what I'm hoping.
I feel like it's very likely that this boss fight that we did see in this trailer is somewhere actually early on in the game. As it did seem like very polished, obviously, like performance-wise, there are still like some hitches, but that's going to be fixed no matter what. Games tend to have more polished parts early on in development, so like early on in gameplay, but obviously that can also be changed.
Yeah. True. And that also took up a big chunk of the showcase, and they ended it with Raji Kali Yuga. Apparently it's a sequel to another game. I will say this trailer did nothing for me other than it's an interesting setting, but not having played the first one, I don't know what to expect with this one, and the trailer also didn't really set off anything for me to think of what kind of game it is. Probably have to look up the first one to know what it's gonna be, but I would say unless I see like another trailer for it, I'm not interested.
Yeah, it was kind of just a cinematic nothing burger.
I think compared to Tides of Annihilation, Raji Kali Yuga does seem a bit lacking. So I don't understand why they would finish with something like this. But yeah, I think that wraps it up for the live stream.
Yeah. No, we pretty much covered every game that was being shown. Again, I am excited for Armatus. Mount looked interesting. Crown Sworn, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Erosion. Zoopunk, if it delivers more on what I think it's gonna make it fun. Tides of Annihilation.
I do believe you skipped over Echo Generation 2.
Oh, I did. Yes.
Which is I believe it's an indie game, but I'm not sure. Big highlight of this game is that it has a very interesting and unique style, which the first game also had. It seems to be like a unique style to the studio itself. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of this.
Yeah, it was after Crown Sworn. I do know, because it's a sequel, I did, when I saw other people's reaction on it, I did saw the hype and that it's that it's a looker. Let's say it like that. So I am kind of interested in it, but not having played the first one, it didn't really grab my attention, other than that I really like the art style, and I did like what I saw from the combat as well. It is definitely unique. Echo Generation 2.
So to wrap it up, what would be your top 3 games that you're really looking forward to?
From the partner preview, I would say Tides of Annihilation, Crown Sworn, and Erosion.
Yeah, those are good picks. Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely Erosion and Tides of Annihilation. For a third one, it would be difficult to choose, especially because there's also a few games in here that are already out on PC. But I am looking forward to Vampire Crawlers, obviously, because Vampire Survivors is kind of a trendsetter in its own. So hoping that Vampire Crawlers can do the same thing.
Okay. I think our top 2s are on the same line, so
they're big hitters.
Yeah. They really surprised me. Well, not really Tides of Annihilation, but I did not expect. I was not expecting that kind of game from Erosion, so I did put it on my wish list.
Okay. So none of you will be playing. Is looking forward for Dave the Diver. I think it was called. Yeah.
I still have to play the first game, like the base game.
Definite recommendation.
I will. I don't know when. It will be ending up somewhere probably in the backlog, but I'll play it one day.
If not for the gameplay, for the art style and for the music.
I did like the art style. I haven't heard the music.
There are
but I
some nice songs that they made.
Okay. But yeah, that was
Well,
the
everybo-
partner preview. That was it.
Okay. Well, everyone, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know what topics you want us to cover next. See you on the next one.
Bye bye.
See ya.